Well. Welcome here to the Charvette Mitchell Radio Show. We are super excited to have you joining us for episode 730. I know, can you believe it? 730. And we are delighted and honored to be in an event spotlight. Listen, my guest is hanging out in the virtual green room, ready to come up and drop love, joy, and knowledge and history and legacy all throughout the internet's streets here on the Charvette Mitchell Radio Show. This event spotlight is going to be chatting about the July Jubilee Juneteenth celebration that's going to be happening at Twin Lakes State Park. But I've got to tell you, there's a great historical connection with our guest that you're going to get to learn all about. And so we are honored to have Dr. Yemaja Jubilee in the virtual studio. And we're going to get started here. Listen, this is a great time to go grab a friend and say, you need to be listening to the Charvette Mitchell Radio Show. You need to be checking it out. We'll get started right after this quick intro. Don't you move.
Whoa. Why y'all so happy?
You don't know? Charvette Mitchell is on the radio.
It's time to get motivated, excited, and influenced. Why? It's the Charvette Mitchell Radio Show, live from Richmond, Virginia. And now, here to motivate, excite, and influence you, Charvette Mitchell.
Well, hello again, and welcome to the Charvette Mitchell Radio Show, broadcasting live from the capital city of Richmond, Virginia, but heard and seen all across the World Wide Web. And I mentioned in our last segment, some kind of way we are trending in Apple Podcast in Uganda. So if you're listening from Uganda, thank you so much for being here and being a part of our podcast. Certainly shout out to all those that are listening live, broadcasting in multiple locations. Shout out to our YouTube channel and our YouTube family who's always holding it down. If you follow us and connect with us over on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to our channel and click to get the notification buttons and the notification bell so that you don't miss any at all, none of our episodes, because the goal of the show is to motivate, excite, and influence. And we're going to do just that today. Let me greet a few people that are coming on in. Lady Elder Takesha Brown, thank you for being here. Yes, come on, Uganda. We're excited. Listen, my mother is always going to be in the house. Hello. Hey, girl. Hey, certainly shout out to Kim and Deborah over on YouTube. As always, thank you for being here. Listen, because my guest is ready to come up. We are in the month of June. O to the M to the G, right? So a lot of stuff going on, just kind of wrapping up a lot of graduations. We're halfway through the month, halfway through the year, kind of June marks that, but also Juneteenth is here. Juneteenth is here. And so let me do a little bit of an introduction of my guest as you all continue to come on in the virtual studio and invite a friend, tag a friend, share as we talk about the July Jubilee Juneteenth celebration that's featuring Dr. Opal Lee, who is the grandmother of Juneteenth. But today's guest really is the spearhead of all of this. We are so excited that Dr. Yemaja Jubilee is with us. She is a native of Charlotte County, Saxe, Virginia. Listen, she is a lover of every moment of her life. She is an inspirational speaker, a soulful poet and spoken word artist, a life coach and author, a creative consultant, and a songwriter. And she is an inclusivity and diversity consultant through NCBI. But guess what? She formed the Connect, Communicate, and Collaborate team, the CCC team, and she formed that team September 2023. And we are so excited to hear from her about this amazing Juneteenth celebration that's going to be here in Virginia and the historical ties to that. Without further ado, put your virtual hands together. Welcome on up to the stage. Welcome on up to the mic. Right now, Yemaja Jubilee, Dr. Yemaja Jubilee. Welcome to the Charvette Mitchell Radio Show.
Thank you, Charvette, for having me. And I must tell your audience, you're the first interview about this. You have it.
We are so excited. Oh my goodness. So listen, I don't want to make an assumption that everyone listening is familiar with Juneteenth, what it is, all of that. So, and just in your own words, talk to the viewers and the listeners about Juneteenth.
Jubilee, we are all now free. The Emancipation Proclamation declared us free in 1863. But however, the people down in Texas did not hear about it until 2 years later. 2 years later. And that was on June 19th in 1865. The colored troops, I've learned a whole lot of history to just kind of confirm some of the facts, because some of the facts that are put out about Juneteenth are not true. I participate in the National Juneteenth Observance Foundation meeting on Saturday so that I can get accurate history as I talk about this.
Yes.
The colored troops came from Hopewell, Virginia, and marched all the way down there to give the people, our people, the enslaved people, the news about Juneteenth. And that's what happened. They got free. They rode through and told everybody what was going on. Our folks, there was a church that they all met at to celebrate that for the first time. So it declared us to be free. Juneteenth, we are now free. Free. I'm free, you free. We all free.
We are all free. Thank you so much for giving us that great capsule there. And what's so beautiful is that you are hosting an event. You are really kind of spearheading. Thank you. We see the likes and the love coming in. July Jubilee Juneteenth celebration that's going to be happening at Twin Lakes State Park, a 3-day event. But let's talk about your father and the significance of hosting it at Twin Lakes State Park. So we salute and honor your father, 98 years old, Reverend John Henry Brown. He also, Charlotte County, Virginia, was a member. Listeners, listen to this, and viewers. He was a member of the 1390 Black Battalion Civilian Conservation Corps, and they helped build the dams for the 1930s segregated Prince Edward Lake, which was a Black recreation park, and Goodwin Lakes, which was a white recreation park. And the Civil Rights Act of 1964 legally ended segregation. However, in 1986, the park was integrated and renamed Twin Lakes. And so I'd love for you just to share about your dad and all of the impacts from that.
Well, my dad, at 16 years old, you had to be 17 years old to join that program that was established by President Roosevelt because of the economy and everything that was going on. And he overheard this conversation down at the post office in Saxe about this program. And they used to call him, listen to what I'm going to say, they used to call him little yellow nigger boy. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but I'm just giving you the ramification of what he lived with. But he heard about it. And he came from a family of 14. He had never had a pair of shoes. He had never had 3 meals a day. So he decided he could help his family by joining that. The pay was $30 or $25 or $30 a month. He got $5 of whatever that was, and the rest of it got sent home to my grandmother, Lena Brown, to help feed the family. Okay.
Wow.
And he had never been honored for that. I was writing the articles for the Charlotte Gazette. I write articles for the Charlotte Gazette.
Yeah.
And I was writing articles on growing up Black in Charlotte County. All right. Mm. And one of the stories that I wrote about my dad's involvement with the CCC. And then I took it to the state park manager, Kevin Fabian, and told him they need to do something about that. Okay.
Yeah.
So it took me a little while, but I got my dad honored in a special ceremony. And if you go down there to one of the first the shades that you picnic up under, you see a picture of my dad and his story that is right there, along with the other 1390 Black boys, young boys that built those. They cut trees, they put out fires, they dug the lakes, they put the dam in, and my dad was amongst that number. So he got honored then. Fast forward. Let's go fast forward. Last year, I was director and producer of the first Juneteenth on the black side of the lake, which was Prince Edward Lake. Okay.
Uh-huh.
And what I did was I had all the music and explained it to the audience that were there. And I honored my dad at the first Juneteenth. Okay.
Wow.
So that's my dad's connection. And I'm connected because of my dad through what I just gave you.
Yes, beautiful, beautiful. And so I'm so glad you were able to honor him. And certainly we salute him and all of his work and just his perseverance to be able to be an example. And certainly you are a fruit of his labor, pioneering always in all of the areas that you're in. And so tied into this, you were able for this upcoming celebration, and viewers and listeners, if you're over on charvette.com, look down in the show notes. We have all the details. It's a whole 3-day event that's coming up in Virginia. If you can get to Virginia, you're in Virginia, or you can take a train, a plane, ride a bicycle. Anyone can get here. So you can see all the details on charvette.com and all our full bio for Dr. Yemaja Jubilee. But the special guest, talk to us about how were you able to get the grandmother of Juneteenth? Tell us about that.
Oh, I'm so excited to tell you all the story. Yes. Martin Luther King ain't the only one who had a dream, okay?
Right.
Because the day that I did the event honoring Dad, and I stayed at the Hill Lodge on the lake, they gave me, they gave me a cabin. I had a dream. I had a dream that I was standing on those grounds hugging Dr. Opal Lee. That was in June 2023. Okay. Wow. She was there in my dream. I mean, I was hugging her and I was crying because I've been following her, with her walks and all the things that she's done. Yeah. And she was there. So that's how I came up with that idea. And I had always heard her say that Juneteenth needs to be run through the 4th of July. That's why our celebration is in July.
Yeah.
So in June 2023, I had the dream. And so I asked God to show me. And at the event, one of the young men, Kenneth Hodges, who my dad mentored, okay, he told me at the Juneteenth that I was doing with Daddy, anything that you're doing to help our folks financially, you don't have to worry about it, okay? Whatever it is that you want to do, I'm going to be there for you, okay?
Wow.
So I didn't know how to get in touch with her. I went on her website, and then finally Donna Shannon of Chesapeake knew somebody that was Sherry Bailey, who was Juneteenth, Virginia, connected me with her, and she connected me with the National Juneteenth Observance Foundation.
Whoa.
Opal is a member, and I got in touch with Dion, Dr. Opal's niece, okay? Talk to them directly. And then they told me, well, it's $7,500, okay? That's what it is. And you got to have airplane tickets for 2 people.
Yeah.
But look, Kenneth Hodges told me, just keep on moving. And a lot of people didn't take me at that. I knew he was going to do what he said because he was mentored by my daddy.
Yeah.
Look, we sent the deposit in. We have all the money to pay for that because of Kenneth Hodges. He's a Black businessman that practices the principles that he learned from my daddy about doing things for the community. Okay.
Wonderful.
That's how I got the money to bring him. But we had to raise a total of $27,000. But we didn't have to worry about the speaker because that's the main thing in the event is getting the speaker.
Yeah.
And so Dion, her granddaughter, to work with me. We sent half the payment. Kenneth have raised through other people. There are a lot of other sponsors as well. But he was the main one that made sure we had the money to do this with.
To do this. I love it. And so why is Dr. Opal called the grandmother of Juneteenth?
Because when she started she's an elder activist. All right. You know, you hear about young people being activists.
Yeah.
Well, P. Diddy supported her. Okay.
Wow.
In her march when she was doing 2.5 miles in each state to gain 1.6 billion signatures so that Juneteenth could become a national holiday. And because of her age and all the activism that she did around this holiday, because her house got burned down in Galveston in 1937, or I think in 1937 and 1939, on Juneteenth, Okay.
Whoa.
White rioters burned her house down. Okay.
Mm.
So she became a teacher. She's an educator, and she became an activist. And she's an older lady, an elder. I don't like
Yeah.
to say elder activist. And that's why she's called the grandmother of Juneteenth.
Wow. And because of her work and a lot of her work, we are able to celebrate it as a holiday, as a
Yes.
official
And
holiday.
along with the National Juneteenth, she worked with the National Juneteenth Observance Foundation. With this man, he was a doctor, and I'm not thinking of his last name. I'll think of it in a minute. She worked because they had already been working on it, so they brought their efforts together. And then when P. Diddy heard about what she was doing, he came and he supported her in her walk and everything. So
Wow.
she's an elder activist. Put her sneakers on and walked in those states, talked about it honestly, what was going on, and she became, that's how she got that title.
Wow. And so now you are here in Virginia this whole 3-day, July 5th, July 6th, July 7th. Now, where is Twin Lakes State Park? Where is that?
Twin Lakes State Park is 10 miles from Farmville, Virginia. Okay. It's about an hour away from Richmond, going 360 west. And you go through Amelia, then Burkeville, and then you'll turn into the park. Okay. It's about an hour away. Now, we have reservations and people can call the Hilton in Farmville and say CCC team, Dr. Yemaja Jubilee, if they want accommodations to stay there. And I got a good price of $99.99 for rooms. So, all they got to do is just call in and they will have accommodation. They have to pay for them, of course, but I've also made arrangements because I got people coming from New York. I got people from DC and Maryland. Look, it's a big event.
It is a whole, listen, we have a whole flyer. I want to put this up, Dr. Yemaja Jubilee. And so talk to us, what's going to be happening on Friday, July 5th, what's going to be happening on Saturday, July 6th, and what's going to be happening on Sunday, July 7th.
On July the 5th, we will start at 3 p.m. We're going to have, of course, there will be vendors that you can shop at. There will be food trucks, okay? And if anybody out there want to vend, just contact me and I'll send them the vendor form. Okay, I'll send them a vendor form. But also, too, on the 5th, we're going to have a meet and greet. And I called it a walk and stroll party. You remember that song? Let's go strolling. Strolling, right? And we're going to have a program where this young man, Adrian, is 10 years old. He's gonna start off. I'm going to introduce the CCC team, and he's going to tell us the significance of the walk. We're going to actually do an actual walk around one of the trails in Twin Lakes, and people can participate the amount they want to participate. There'll be water and refreshments for them. All right.
Oh, wow.
And then when we come back, when that's done at 5 o'clock, we will start because Dr. Opal will land at Richmond International Airport at 2 o'clock on July the 5th. And Bland Reed Funeral Home will pick her up and bring her to the lake where we will have a party. Okay.
All right.
And at that party, girl, we got the Loving Freedom Rhythm Crew. Okay. And that's a band that I put together. Okay. That's a band that I put together with various Leon saxophone, Stephen on the piano keys, and then we'll have Cameron on the guitar and Tyree on the drums, and then we'll have drummers from Lynchburg, Virginia as well. And then we're going to have entertainment. There will be Angela Crawley will be singing Don't You Know Jim Crow. She will be singing it by Nina Simone. Okay.
Oh, wow.
And then she's going to be singing that song, I Know a Place. Ain't nobody dying. Okay.
Yes.
Piece. And Deborah, who also will be singing, He's Got the Whole World in His Hands. And then she will sing the Black National Anthem. We will pour libations. Janine Bell is pouring the libations on Friday for Elegba Society. She's also a part of that program. So we'll have music, and then there's going to be a presentation of a portrait that one of my friends, if they did of her as a gift.
Oh my goodness.
And then there's a quilt that has been made by the quilt lady. She's known as the quilt lady from down in Hampton Roads area. Will be presented by a young man to her. And then we're going to have a DJ, and we're going to eat, and we're going to dance. Okay.
Wow, listen, Renee Lacey said outstanding. Gwen Finley said this sounds awesome. Renee Lacey said now that's a July Jubilee Juneteenth party right there.
That's
And
right.
we still on Friday.
Yep. So on Friday we will finish up and Aranda Young, Life Balance, is catering that evening, so she'll have meals. Oh, I forgot to tell you, we got a private chef for Dr. Opal. Okay.
Oh, wow.
She has a cabin to herself with her and her niece, and Aranda Young, Life Balance, will be staying in the cabin and fixing all of her meals. She won't have to go up. Look, we're treating her like the royalty she is.
Listen, welcome to Virginia. Virginia is for lovers. I am telling you.
And then Saturday, we had the Buffalo Soldiers motorcade, okay? Motorcycle ride. They were riding to salute her.
Uh-huh.
And then we have Perry Carrington from with Jericho Baptist Church. It's Perry Carrington and Company to be the music for that day. We have Sharon from Lynchburg, who has an African troupe dance. We'll have dancers, drummers to escort her in. And then Larry Gibson from Project 1619 will pour the libations that day. Okay.
Wow.
Yes. So what I've tried to do is incorporate all the people that celebrate, like Project 1619, people know about.
Yes.
And then Elegba Society, because I've been on their stages doing things. So I pulled everybody in to do that. And on that day, we will be giving the CCC award, team awards. We're going to give it to people that are doing outstanding things in the surrounding county for Black people, to make things better for Black people. One of those people is the Central High School museum person is Dr. Hesitine Foster, because she's been an educator. Yeah. All right. And then after my dad passed, I had a vision. I had another vision that I needed to do something special. So I came up with, God gave downpoured through me the John Henry Brown Humanitarian Awards.
Oh, wow.
And so we're going to be giving those to people that are doing outstanding. And I want to be able to give Longwood University, they just gave me a JD on May the 19th.
Yes.
Okay? And I want to be able to give them one because they're changing the whole look, along with R.R. Morton Museum. I want to be able to give them an award. And I want to be able to, this lady named Joy, she was a participant in the walkout with Barbara Johns. We're doing the Prince Edward County School walkout, right?
Yeah.
To give her one. And of course, I got to give one to Kenneth Hodges. Got to give one to him because he's the one that is making all of this possible. So we'll do that and have that. She will speak, and I'll get the pleasure of introducing her. I'm not letting anybody else introduce her.
That's right. That's right. Listen, I love it. Thank you. Over on YouTube, Tanya saying awesome. Thank you. Brenda saying this is so exciting. It is. And I do want to mention your father, just for viewers and listeners, Dr. Yemaja's father transitioned just 2 weeks ago. So this is fresh, but I'm so glad that you were able to honor, and these were in motion, and he got to be honored and be able to experience it. Yes.
And I wanted two 98-year-old people to meet each other, right? Because we said, what going between two 98-year, a man and a woman, right?
Listen, I ain't even gonna touch that with a 10-foot pole. I'm not even gonna touch that. And so for those, I see y'all coming in and out. Let's, Dr. Yemaja, let's give again the dates, the time, the location, so they know everything that's going on for this celebration.
July Jubilee Juneteenth takes place July 5th through July 7th at Twin Lakes State Park. Take 360 West and go all the way out through Burkeville and Amelia, and you put it in your GPS and come on out there with us. Bring a lawn chair, bring your children, come and sit and be a part of this. Y'all don't want to miss this, because this is his. Look, I don't think people realize this is a historic event.
Yeah.
Okay? And she has never been to this area before. Dr. Opal just came from Japan. Okay.
Wow.
She travels all over the world. And I want to shake her hand and hold her hand, and people can come. We're also making a documentary about this, which will premiere at Longwood University in September. Okay.
Whoa.
So it's a lot of different things. Longwood University, has partnered with me in a lot of different things. And so George Gaskin is the one that's taken the filming, and then we will premiere that about this event. You know, it takes people working together. Like I always say, you have to trust, you have to pray, you have to give it over, and you have to bring forth the truth with a capital T and togetherness. That's where the collaborative piece come in. And I didn't do all this by myself. And, you know, I don't want anybody, look, I didn't do all this I had a dream and pull the people in. Okay.
Pull the people in. Visionary. Yeah. Now I see a question coming in. Is there a cost?
No.
Okay.
There's no cost. Now, if you want to make us a donation through the Twin Lakes, we need all the help. If you contact me at 434-808-2472, I'm accepting donation because I have to raise money for an outside sound system.
Okay.
Because it's outside, and that cost is $500. Okay.
Got it.
So I've been putting it out there, and anybody just call me, and then I can tell you how to, you know, put this that little thing, you send them a donation letter. Vemco, what is that called? Okay, you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, we know what you're talking about. Yes.
And then, they can send it to the Friends of Twin Lakes. So look, it is going to be on. It's going to go down that day.
Listen. I know you have vendors. There's going to be food out there. What do you know? What kind of food vendors and what kind of other vendors you're going to have out there?
Well, the Fish and Pig of Farmville, which is the most popular restaurant, they got the best macaroni and cheese.
All right.
Fried catfish. Look, and collard green. I ate there last week, right? Food there, and then there'll be some people with icicles and different things like that. And there'll be a different variety of vendors that you usually see at these kind of events. But I'm still looking for vendors. And the vendor price for the space is only $25. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So if they call me, 434-808-2472, or email me at landinlove@AOL.com, I can send you all of that.
Wonderful. And if you're connected with me, so if you're on charvette.com, we have Dr. Yemaja Jubilee's full bio there. We tagged her on Facebook. So even a Facebook inbox, if you are listening, Facebook inbox, that's another way to connect. So that would be great if you have products, because listen, you can't get a vendor space for $25. I mean, most vendor spaces are minimum $100.
No parking fee and no fee to come in. Okay.
Wow. No parking and no fee to come in.
No, all we want you to do is show your face in the place and set your butt in a chair. Okay.
There you go. Bring your lawn chair. Enjoy. Again, July 5th, 6th, and 7th. You can come to one day. You can come to all three. Now, what's happening on that Sunday? You're doing something different on the Sunday the 7th. Tell us about that.
The Sunday, Bland Reed. Again, Bland Reed is so wonderful. They're gonna pick up Dr. Opal and take her to the Jericho Baptist Church on Franklin Street in Farmer, where Pastor Taylor is and Perry Currington, and we're gonna be their special guests for that service. You know, we got to have a church service to go to, you know?
Absolutely. This feels like a reunion.
Yeah. So we're going to go there. And then the Fish and Pig is giving me, 6 or 8 free lunches. We're going to go eat at the Fish and Pig afterwards. Okay, free.
Wow.
Yeah. So
wonderful.
And Dr. Opal will get a chance to have some words. We're just going to follow what Pastor Taylor tells us, but she will be in the audience. Okay. And I'm sure that he's going to recognize her and give her time to say something. So show up at church. Go come to church with us on Sunday. Okay.
Wow. A full 3D. One of them. And again, one more time, I see new people kind of coming in. Where is Twin Lakes State Park?
Twin Lakes State Park is in Green Bay, Virginia, 10 miles from Farmville, Virginia. I think it's Highway 607. You turn off on. Don't hold me to that. Okay.
Right. We're gonna put it in your GPS. Right.
Yeah. Put it in your GPS, and it's about an hour away from Richmond on 360 West. Whichever way you're coming, if you just put that in, you're gonna come and get on Twin Lakes Road and come to the Crestview Center. And Kevin Fabian is the park manager there. He's a wonderful person. We work with the Friends of the Lake. So it's been a whole lot of people to bring together to work for this event. It's not just me. You know what I'm saying?
The whole collaboration.
Yes.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, we are certainly wishing much more continued success. If you're in the audience live and you have one or two more questions, just let us know. But the goal of the show, Dr. Yemaja, is to motivate, excite, and influence. We want to know what continues to motivate you.
What continues to motivate me is to know that I am free from inside out. I embrace my humanness, but I also embrace my infinite essence, which is the God spirit that resides in me. I'm grateful when I wake up in the morning. I'm grateful that I rest, and I'm grateful that I seek guidance and always get new ideas. You can't just sit down on your butt, you know?
No.
Because ideas run free, and I don't care about, I hear people say, well, I don't know what my purpose is. Well, you haven't asked, okay? And you will be shown through whatever your reception, through your intuitive self, through journaling and meditating, you will get, or you will get someone like me who will tell you, hey, now, girl, you got to sit, SYBD, sit your butt down, okay?
Sit it down. And listen, I love that. It's certainly why you're an inspirational speaker, so people can hire you and contact you for that.
I'm available. And what makes it so good about it, I was at in Lynchburg the last part of, I guess about 3 weeks ago, because I go so much with it, and I spoke to 100 Black women. All right. And it was pastors' wives and widows of pastors' wives. Girl, I had them to make a stew and put peas in it. Okay. Purpose, peace. I mean, all of that. And talked about how they make you make a stew every day. You set your intention, what you want to do. Okay.
Every day.
You have to set an intention. Why do you wake up in the morning? I set an intention every single day. And my mother Marie, I got to talk about my mother Marie because I had a dream about her. I am working on having a road that go by the home place. My mother left me the home place in Charlotte County to renaming the road in my community, the John Henry and Marie Brown Road. Okay. Oh. And my mother came to me and she said, because I was doing the John Henry Brown Road, and she said, you know, all the work that I did, the sacrifices that I made for this man to be where he is, you cannot leave me out. So right. I want to give it to her, give her honor to my mother, Marie Harris Brown, because she was a loving and kind woman, and she worked in the community. And the poetry that I write is reflective of that. And I write poetry, I call them divine downloads. Okay? Yeah. I don't write them. Okay. And so I use that as my tool to process. And my mother will come to me, or I've had the old sisters in the church to surround me in a dream and give me a piece of poetry. Okay. So, my goodness. And if there's some event that I get invited to, because I have spoken, I go to Vegas, I go to Jersey, I go all these places and speak. Yeah. Whatever God downpours through me, I bring it. All right. And sometimes I can write it and it changes when I'm getting up there to do it. It just changes. But I listen to spirit. And sometimes there's a special occasion, whether it's Black History Month, whether it's some Black event, or some family is having a party and you want to eat a poem about that person. Yeah. I'm your girl. Okay. All right. You give me 3 sentences or 6 sentences, and I'll come up with something that's going to be musical. Leon Live plays behind me with the saxophone, and then Tyree does the bongos, and we bring it. All right. Listen, I love it. I love it. Renee Lacey, thank you always for being in the audience. She said another great interview with Charvette and with the fabulous Yemaja Jubilee. Thank you. Listen, Brenda is saying Dr. Jubilee is full of life and is such an inspiration. Absolutely. We concur. Well, I'm telling you, our time flew on by. We are wishing you much success with this event. And thank you for all that you do in the community, and to bring everybody together as well. Yeah. And I have to tell you, George Smith, Wanda Morrison, who's the first Black mayor of Cambridge, is a part of this team. And Patricia Tunley and Angela, I mean, there's so many people, Donna Shannon, that I'm not doing this by myself now. Right. You are not by yourself. But I want everybody, togetherness and thankfulness and trust and truth and breathing and allow things to unfold. There have been tests of my temper, but things do still go unfold. I get to rhyming now because I'm a poet, right? So but I'm grateful for you to allow me this opportunity to come on your show. You're the first interview about this, okay?
Wow. And I know I won't be the last. So
No.
the Sharvette Mitchell Radio Show is excited to be a part of the media features for this. So thank you so much, Dr. Yemaja Jubilee. And we will keep our eye out on this. I am telling you what, listeners, the time flew by. If you were like, hey, I was trying to see the flyer better and all that, jump over to sharvette.com, sharvette.com. We have the full flyer there. You can download it. You can screenshot it. You can connect with Dr. Yemaja. We have her full bio and all of that, a link as well. We dropped a link for those that are listening live in our live streaming. We dropped a link that'll take you to where you can register, find out more about the event. The official page is there. And we're excited that you were a part of the Sharvette Mitchell Radio Show, episode 730. It's a wrap. We're going to tie it up here, and we're going to see you all later on the web. Bye.
Live from Richmond, Virginia, you've been listening to the Sharvette Mitchell Radio Show. Get Sharvette Mitchell every Tuesday at 6 p.m., interviewing all the stars you want to hear from. So until next week, stay motivated, excited, and influenced. This is the Sharvette Mitchell Radio Show.